It's the Stone Cold and Jackal Show!
Really? That's what you came up with for our intro? Bradford Anderson!
What's going on, Steve Burton?
What's up, brother?
You look really good today.
Oh, is it my hair?
It's always your hair.
It's always. The hair doesn't change. It hasn't changed. My wife's like, maybe do you think you could do something different with
What is
your hair?
she? Yeah, if she could have your hair any way.
Long.
What, hold on.
Legends of the Fall.
Come on, Brad Pitt,
Oh,
Legends
yeah.
of the Fall, for real?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Does she still listen to like 80s hair metal? And
She does. She listens to a lot of new music, but, you know, she loves the long hair. Like,
Did you ever have long hair?
I did.
How
I did,
long?
actually.
How long? Like
Well,
down to your butt, long hair?
No. Actually, on the show, I grew it out because I was supposed to be doing a Western, and I'd grown my hair fairly long.
You weren't supposed to be doing. Okay.
I was growing it for a Western.
Okay.
I was doing it.
All
I was
right.
doing a Western.
The way you said it on the show, I was supposed to do a Western, so I was like, Jason is
the
going to do a
gunslinging-
Western?
No.
A Western fantasy, maybe, right? That would have been awesome. That's the
Jason-
that's the one fantasy Spinelli never had, is like a Western gunslinger.
Dude, you would be Barney Fife. Is that a Western? Dude, I bet you could do a pretty good impression of it.
Oh man.
Dude,
Don Knotts is like my freaking.
that would be amazing.
He was my idol.
I can't be Matlock or whatever his name was.
Oh yeah,
Andy Griffith.
Andy
yeah.
Griffith. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I can't be that. We could do that.
You fill out a. Well, no, you'd be a great sheriff in a story, right?
Okay.
I mean, I know you're a lawbreaker on our show, so
Yes.
that's kind of off brand for you,
Right,
But you
it
could
is.
be a nice hokey small town sheriff. You know, all the local ladies in the quilting circle want to get with the sheriff.
Do people
And-
quilt still?
Oh yeah, in small towns.
Wow.
Well, I'm from a small town.
Small towns everywhere.
I have my favorite quilt my mom made me. It's a T-shirt quilt of all the T-shirts that I wore, like all through,
Really?
like you know, my activity T-shirts, like when you do a sporting event, or
Sure.
if you're in, you know, your third grade does a play.
Where
you get
is it?
We moved a lot, so I think it's in the closet.
It's in a box.
Well, it's not exactly like on the you know, in the master bedroom. Me and my wife are sleeping with my T-shirt quilt.
You know what like sucks nowadays is I don't know how much your mom saved of your stuff,
Sure.
but I don't like have anything.
Oh, really? You
Because-
can have some of mine.
No, but
No,
but
that's-
today, I mean, with like our kids, they're gonna have everything.
Well, in digital form. And
Right.
how do you sort through that?
I know, but that's the other, obstacle. But it's like, unless you made an effort, your parents did to like box stuff
Yeah.
up and say, hey, here's your stuff from when you were a
Right.
kid. I like have one thing. It's crazy.
Oh, I'm so sad for you.
know, it's
Well, because this has actually happened to me in the last 2 weeks. Because we're moving. We're moving out of our rental house because we're going to be homeless for 6 months and live with my in-laws, which is
I wouldn't say that's homeless.
well I mean, I'm sorry.
Are you paying rent?
No.
Yeah, you love that. I know you. You penny
No.
pitching. You penny pitching. New Hampshire.
Yeah.
New Englander.
Oh, man. No. Now you're going to have people from New Hampshire, New England getting all mad at you. We are a generous, wonderful people.
You are, but I'm going to say this: you like to save a
I
dollar.
like a deal.
You
I
like a deal.
a good deal.
So let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
So I know you're getting a house and stuff. Congratulations.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
Building it myself. No.
But when you knew that you had to get out of your rental house,
Sure.
and it kind of excited you that you didn't have to pay rent for 6 months.
Well,
Does it?
The reasonable thing for us to do was to live with my in-laws, and every time we would visit Sacramento, when we'd come to visit, we'd stay with them. Our kids love it. We love being there. It was the natural thing to do. It certainly is a perk to not have.
But that was that thought one or two in the line of like,
well, I guess when you're buying a house and you're thinking, "Oh crap, I got to spend all my savings," it was probably in top three.
Okay,
Sure,
good.
Sure. Thank you, Steve.
so you get along with the in-laws?
Oh my God, yeah, they're amazing people, and it makes sense because they have.
Do you really?
Well,
that's great.
They raised such an amazing daughter. It makes sense that they're wonderful people too.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
no, it's
very
cool.
nice. I hope your wife listens to this one.
Maybe
She
I'll
won't.
force her to. I
Just
can't force
listen
her to.
to,
Do, I can't force her to do anything.
Honey,
but-
just fast forward to 2:37.
Yeah, I'm gonna earmark it. Don't worry. No, but like I grew up with a very big family on the East Coast, and being on the West Coast, she's grew up in Sacramento, 5th generation. we know everybody, not just a big family, but family friends that
That's
go back
kinda
generations.
odd.
It's not the standard. Like most
Not in the
people-
West, right?
Right. Most people don't have that. And so the fact that I can commute to LA, still do what I do, but our girls
No,
are
you have a
growing
great
up
life up
around
there.
a big family, it's awesome.
Yeah, you do have.
It's
a great
awesome.
life.
But since we're moving, my mom had given me a box of all of my mementos. And
What else was in the box?
Dude, it was every clipping from any sporting event, show I did, programs, like
Wow.
my artwork that I did in kindergarten.
Love
and,
that.
Like every grade, like literally a chronicle of my life. And I was thinking about what like our kids are going to have that too, but it's all, we have so many pictures and videos of our kids.
Good gosh.
But they're all digital, right? And so how do you sort through that? How do you get it in some sort of form that can easily be accessed and looked
You can't.
at?
What you're going to have, you're going to give your kid like 8 hard drives.
Right.
Hey, happy 18th. Here's 8 hard drives. Good luck.
Right, or do you just make like we did on Shutterfly, we did those little books to give to
Sure.
our family, and those are hard copy stuff, and I gotta say we probably look at those more than we do looking.
Well,
through
you don't. Once it's on the phone, dude, you never look at it again.
I know. So
Isn't it crazy?
I know. So you get all that material, but yeah, we got to figure out a way to harness to make it useful so that. Because, yeah, our kids, I want them to have all that stuff. But you're right. You're going to give them a hard
And they have their own.
Yeah.
Like my daughter
Well,
has,
sure, she has
an
her own
iPad.
phone, yeah.
She doesn't have a phone yet. Believe it or not, she's 14.
Bless you.
Isn't it?
Thank you
Right?
for
She's
doing
not
that.
on social media.
So I can
But-
tell my kids that. Well, Steve's daughter didn't get
Absolutely.
one until she's...
They have
like-
iPads. Jack and McKenna have iPads. They can communicate. They can text us. They
Right,
can do
but
all
no
that.
phone.
But they can, they take their own videos and pictures and
Yeah.
text back and forth with their friends and stuff.
Well, and
and
they can be creative in that way.
Absolutely.
Our kids don't have iPads that they communicate. They're not connected to the internet, but they love taking pictures.
Sure.
And that can be a really creative thing for them to do. And I mean, they take crap pictures. I mean, they're horrible at it.
Dude, what is it? Listen, what is it with this generation when, because we're so vain when it comes to things like,
Things got to look right.
we take the picture from top, right?
Well, that's just sensible.
No, I know, but these kids are like, it's from underneath.
I know.
Where
they'll
anyone who
figure it-
doesn't have 5 chins.
Well, they'll figure it out
looks
when-
like they have 5 chins.
They'll figure it out when they get older, and they're like, "Oh, when I take a picture from down here,
It's not so
they'll,
good.
They'll figure it out. Now they're young and pretty.
I'm
and
not sure they will
You don't think so?
because they're born with it. They just take it from under like the.
Maybe that'll be their preferred angle. Like, oh, this is I don't like most people look in the mirror, and that's what their image of themselves is themselves in the mirror, and that's what they're
Right.
used to. Maybe for this generation, the image that they are most familiar with is looking down at a phone, looking back at them. So maybe that's the image that will be familiar and
gosh.
comforting to them.
horrible.
Oh my gosh.
And the other thing too is like my kids will film me or tape me
When you're not,
when I'm not paying attention.
your kids work for TMZ,
Dude, honestly, I hate it.
and then what do they do with it?
I hate it.
Look at
they'll-
Daddy.
No, yeah.
I got you coming out of the bathroom.
No, they'll show me. They'll go, look at him. Look at this one. Like
Right.
I'll be sitting there making a face or laughing at the TV, and it's the worst, like picture that could be taken of me ever.
Sure.
And they're like, oh, look at this. I go, I'm
Daddy,
gonna freaking
Daddy,
smash
you look
this
ugly.
iPad.
You look ugly, Daddy.
Dude, it makes me so upset. I said, listen,
Yeah.
both of you, family meeting right now.
Family meeting now. No.
We're having
pictures
a
of
family
Daddy.
meeting.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't have family meetings often.
Who calls the family meetings in your family?
I'm gonna call. I call it.
Call it a family meeting. All right.
I call the family meeting.
Right.
We sit down.
Yep.
I said, listen,
Listen.
don't ever.
This sounds like the way you talk to me. You talk to me
ever.
like you talk to me like you talk
Well,
to your
you're like one of
kids.
my kids.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, don't ever film me without my permission again,
Right.
or those iPads will be destroyed.
That's amazing. You gotta write up some waivers in your house.
I will tell you that I have not been filmed again.
That's pretty fair.
Because it's just not right, man.
No, I get it.
There's liberty, right? It's like this whole social media stuff.
Privacy laws.
Yeah, but there's people
Kids?
like the young generation, these kids.
Yeah.
Like even at work, they'll just be like, "Oh, I'm live on Facebook." I'm like, "Get out of here!"
Oh yeah, we saw one of our young actresses in the makeup chair, just like, and everyone's walking by, and she's just like on Facebook Live.
Well, don't you warn somebody?
Right? Yeah, yeah,
I mean, just tell me.
yeah. Everything
Because
you
guess
got to be
what?
on your guard the whole time.
I know it's so strange though. It's
Yeah.
a weird world that
Well,
way.
because you say all kinds of incendiary things normally.
Don't use big words. I don't even know what that is.
My kids are doing swimming lessons this week.
Good.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like my oldest, living in California, everybody has a pool. We don't, but a lot of people have pools. So you need to know how to swim because
No,
if you're
you do.
going
You
over
should-
a friend's house,
absolutely.
like you
Dude,
got to know
listen.
how to swim. And our oldest fought against it for a long time. And last year, right at the end of her swimming lessons, like really got it and really started to appreciate it. And so this
Awesome.
year, she's excited about it. So I'm really excited about summer because, like, going to the pool with your kids can be a lot of work.
Everything.
With kids, it's a lot of work.
I mean, dude, my whole life. Well, our wives' lives are a lot of work.
Well, what's funny is we go to quote unquote work.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that weird?
And that is so much less work than what
100
happens
I
at
know,
home.
I
We talked about that before. But so swimming lessons, we're gonna have a great summer. No rent and a lot of swimming.
And a lot of wine for the Jackal.
Yeah, well, it is summer wine. Maybe some
Summer wine.
maybe some rosé.
Yeah, Jack learned how to swim in a jacuzzi.
That doesn't sound safe at all.
First,
Well, you don't go underwater in a jacuzzi. What is he doing?
no, first of all, it was.
You just got so red.
Dude, I'm red right now.
It's like it's as red as you get when you go into a jacuzzi because it's too hot.
It's too hot.
It's too hot.
And it wasn't. It was a big. Not a jacuzzi. It could be 102 degrees, or it could be kind of like a cool pool.
It's just
if
a
you-
small thing.
Yeah,
of
but
water.
we used it more as a jacuzzi, but it was
Sure.
like just big enough where
Right.
a 3-year-old could kind of swim
Sure.
a little bit.
Right.
So, that sounds hillbilly that he learned how to swim in a jacuzzi, but he did. It was great. He can swim good, and McKenna can. But
Was it attached to an above ground pool?
no, my wife would not let me have one. I tried to get one. I grew up with them.
They're great.
Dude, my uncle had the best one, dude. It was huge above ground pool, and he had a deck around the whole thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it was like you could play
Lot of
football,
places to fall
basketball.
off of, yeah.
Totally. So not user friendly. But my wife's like, no way. You're
No
not
way
having an
above ground.
above ground pool. Not happening. I said, honey,
Well, they're a lot cheaper than doing it in ground.
it's $5,000.
Right.
5,000.
Versus
100.
right. That's a difference.
Let me get that.
Right.
Please.
And they're pretty. They get that pretty blue plastic color that you see above ground.
Like you're looking into the water, but
And
you're
you know,
not.
And you know what you do? You set up a webcam all the time that you don't put no because
What?
Because how many America's Funniest Home Videos have you seen when an
Where's
above
a
ground
pool?
when an above ground pool falls
Collapses.
apart?
Yeah, and I'm in it.
You're in it.
What's that red guy doing? The red guy's floating down the street. So stupid.
That would be amazing.
Oh,
that would be the number
gosh.
one America's Funniest video. You know what? The internet has ruined America's Funniest Home Videos
Correct.
because you don't need another place to watch them. You just go on the internet.
Yeah, you just
I
go
never
on. You just
thought
go
about
on my
that.
Twitter page. Not
Steve
really.
falling out
but-
of pools. Yeah.
Oh man. I
So
don't-
today we wanted to take a little through day in the life of what it's like to be on a daytime show, right? Isn't that what we did?
Yeah, I mean, I had some guests come to the show a couple days ago. He was actually my friend Tim. He's a cop in Franklin, Tennessee.
Oh, cool.
And now he just got accepted to the FBI,
Oh my gosh.
which is huge.
Were
I
you
mean,
not supposed to say his name?
Yeah, well, I didn't say the whole thing. It
Oh, okay.
His code name is Tim.
Codename Tim. Poor guy. Was it state issued? That's really shitty. Like,
And,
I'm gonna get a cool code
okay,
name. It's gonna be Spencer.
Okay, hey, you're a Warrior Hawk and you're Night Eagle and you're Tim. Sir, can I have a
Can I
different?
get a different one?
Can I get a different name, please? So anyway, he was coming out to California with his girlfriend, and I haven't seen him back home for a while. And I'm like, hey man, I know you're getting in like Thursday night, and I'm leaving Friday afternoon. I said, just come to work,
Right.
and come watch us do a couple scenes.
That's
it was
awesome,
me and
yeah.
Maurice were in item.
Oh wow! So cream of the crop too, not just some BS scenes with me. That lucky guy, lucky guy.
I said, hold on, Bradford's not in. So yeah, come tomorrow.
Come see some real work.
So we did, we had 8 items in a row, me and Maurice, and it was cool stuff. I can't tell you what the scenes were, but you're not going to want to miss
Oh
them.
god, the suspense is killing
Well,
me.
but actually, it was a specialty scenes. It was pretty cool, and I'll tell you off the air. But you got to watch.
Specialty scenes. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, it's specialty.
Specialty.
It was a specialty. So
Specialty is your specialty.
anyway, so I brought him on the set, and leading into I don't think a lot of people really know how the show is shot.
Well, sure, yeah.
Right? They see the final product. They see
Right.
it edited. They see it sweetened with music. They see
Right.
what they see. And, you know, a lot of times people do come on the set with set tours and stuff, and people are like, oh, man, I didn't know it was like this, or I didn't know you guys do this, and why is it like this? And I thought it'd be interesting for us just to kind of tell people, you know, really what it's like
Sure.
behind, you know, our kind of day out of life.
Well, because I mean, a lot of the questions that we get when we go on the road, you know, it's a lot of it is, you know, how do you memorize all those lines? Which is a factor in daytime more so than any other
100%.
genre, because we do more material than everybody, and you know, so it's things like that. People are interested in the nuts and bolts of putting together a television show like ours, and you know, I guess we fancy ourselves a little bit experts because we've been doing it. I mean, Steve's been doing it since the '50s, so he's a really
You love pain, don't you? You want to see some pain.
He's a real expert.
I mean, yes.
Yeah. Well, and also the interesting thing is that it's changed. It's evolved because of the necessity of doing more, spending less money on it. So
Right.
and so that necessitates changes in the production schedule so that they can stay on budget, stay under budget, and because successful shows make money, and so
Thank you.
As advertising revenue goes down, sometimes you know as less
gotta
people
take
watch
cuts.
the show, advertising
Sure.
revenues go down, and they have to cut money to make it worth their while. So General Hospital's been in the black for many years, very lucky,
Yeah.
and so we do a certain thing, a certain way, and thankfully it's still working. And thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, and actually, you know, my mom came to the show one time to see the show, to watch me tape.
Right.
Like one time.
One time ever,
That was it.
she wasn't impressed.
No, it ruined it for her.
Oh,
She said,
the mystique is gone.
yeah, the mystique is gone. And it was, I remember, it was the Quartermain entryway,
Okay.
which,
The foyer.
the foyer, yeah.
Yeah.
Quit using those big words. You mean a foyer?
A foyer. Well, there's an R in the word, so how
Yeah.
come you don't say the R?
I don't know. Is it French?
I don't know.
It is French, yeah.
Although
So
I speak French very poorly. So
I speak a little French.
do you with your mouth? Little tongue.
wow.
French kiss.
Wow.
Oh, oui, oui, oui.
No, you don't have to do the pig snort.
No, that's the little, like the little, les poissons, oui. Little Mermaid, come on. You have kids.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah. Whatever, bro.
All right, foyer.
Foyer, yeah. Anyway, so my mom's there watching, and you know, the first thing I can say to people is the sets are a lot smaller than you would think.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So on TV, the Quartermain foyer looks gigantic, and it actually is a pretty big set.
Pretty big, yeah.
It's probably one of the biggest sets next to the nurse's station.
Sure.
Now, but on camera, it
looks
looks
massive.
like a mansion.
Totally.
You know, and then
Yeah.
you see it, and you're like, oh.
Well, and when you see
What?
you see where the wall ends, because none of these sets have a roof.
No,
There's no
or a
ceiling.
roof, as we say.
A roof.
You say a roof?
No, I say a roof.
Roof, yeah,
Right.
a roof. Who
Right.
says roof? What
I
part
don't know,
of the country
it just
is
seemed
roof?
fun to say.
Yeah.
Same people that say instead of route they say route.
Route. Well, it is route and route.
Well, yes. I
Route
suppose-
66 and Route 101.
There you go. I say Route 101. Yeah.
Route? Okay.
Yeah.
You like routes?
Roof. There's no ceilings in these sets.
Correct.
So when you see the wall ends, you can't. The mystery is gone when you see that there's no ceiling, right? There's something
Kind of,
about
yeah.
it, and it makes it look smaller when
Sure.
you can see it end.
And because all the lights are hanging down. So I think people know like what a set looks like just because
Sure.
of, you know, especially if you watch Murder, She Wrote
Oh yeah.
or one of those
Yeah, one of the
that your mom watched?
in your prime time.
that your mom watched.
We'd read Reader's Digest on the toilet and then go watch Murder She Wrote.
Wow. This guy. Have you ever met somebody who's just a dictator?
I
dictionary.
love Reader's Digest, but they're always in a basket next
stop.
to a toilet, aren't
Yeah,
they?
that's true.
Are they
and I
still-
don't know why they got the. Why do they do that?
I don't know.
That's just weird. Like
Yeah.
that's where you know it is.
Right, and it has to be in like a weaved basket.
Yeah. Hey, do you
have the Reader's Digest?
Can I borrow your Reader's Digest? Sure, you know where it is. Yeah, I do know exactly where it is. So, you know, I think people know kind of what from TV what sets look like, but what the main thing for my buddy, codename Tim,
Codenamed Tim.
was he didn't really think about it much, but he's like, oh, so you don't shoot this set and then go to the next set.
Oh, right.
And then go back to that set. So like, on TV, if there's a scene, in Act 1 is a nurse's station, Kelly's, Sonny's penthouse, and the Quartermains.
Right. They go from one to one to one. They go one to the next.
Right. On the show, it goes one to the next. But what we do is we tape everything in that one set.
Correct.
And I was explaining to him that we tape all of these first so the crew doesn't have to move, change the lighting, and if we did it that way, we would never get anything done.
No.
At all.
Right.
So I think that's one of the first things is we shoot according to sets.
Right.
Instead of what's on the air.
Which can actually make things really out of order.
Majority of the time out of order.
Well, because there are some sets that pretty much always live on the stage.
Living means that they're never broken down.
They're never broken down.
Because
the nurse's station is partly built in, isn't it?
Into
the nurse's station is
set,
partly built into our soundstage.
Right.
And that most other sets are removable.
Yeah, there's a few that stay up the most, like you said.
Right.
And if like we were in Switzerland.
Right. Remember that?
Yeah. So it was so fun in Switzerland.
It was so fun.
So, like that set was just thrown up.
Yeah.
For the day.
Right.
And then torn down that night.
So any scene that took place in that set had to be shot that day.
Correct.
Regardless of if it meant it could have been three, 4 episodes worth of stuff.
Sure, and that's actually a good thing to go on to next. Is usually we shoot a show a day. That was standard for
years
before a show a day, right? So now we don't. We shoot 7, sometimes 9 shows in 5 days.
Right.
So like you just said, if Monday we're shooting Switzerland and in the script we're supposed to be shooting Switzerland Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Well, most likely they'll take all those scenes from Monday, Wednesday, and Friday and shoot them all
in one day.
In one day to save money, right? And it makes sense. So,
but sometimes you're doing storyline. You're saying words that relate to things that you haven't said before.
Correct.
So this will air a week after something that you haven't even shot yet. So we have to ask a lot of questions. We have to make sure we know where we're coming from, where we're going.
Perfect example was yesterday because we're knee deep in the nurse's ball right now.
That's right.
And there's so much going on, like stories.
And so many people and
during the nurse's ball and then like behind the scenes.
Correct.
Characters are doing other stories, kind of, peripheral stories at the nurse's ball. And we had one scene.
Yes.
Basically.
Right.
And that was my first scene amongst the nurse's ball scenes.
Right.
And I'm like, I know before that scene, just from kind of how it was written, that a lot of stuff happened that I haven't shot yet.
Yeah.
So and usually I don't ask much. I can kind of figure it out or whatever.
Well, we're fairly smart.
But the other interesting thing too is with that is we don't get the whole scripts anymore.
Yeah, we used to get these. It used to be a huge waste of paper, and that's what they realized.
Right. We used to get, but it is nice to have the script that you can read
to get some context.
So I had to call one of the writers. I said, "Hey, I'm going up here in one item.
Right.
Can you just come down and just walk me through?"
Sure.
Up to this point with my scene with Bradford. Yeah. And she did, and she said, this happened, and this happened, and now this is happening, and this is this scene. I'm like, okay.
Because what you can end up doing is, and sometimes the easy thing to do is to just say the words with some intention, some kind of idea of what you mean, make sense of the words. But unless you really know what's going on, it might conflict with what you do in the scene might not match up with the stuff that you're going to shoot later.
100%.
And you can look like a doofus.
And it's happened a lot.
I mean, more so than I already look like a doofus most of the time. But so that sometimes you have to do some homework. We actually have to work to prepare.
Yes.
But that is interesting, and I think you're right. A lot of people don't necessarily know. A lot of it is dictated by the sets. And you wouldn't think that.
Yeah, the sets, and we shoot so many, like we said, we shoot so many shows now that I don't want to say majority, but 50% of it's out of order.
Yeah.
Right? It's like when I first came back to the show, my first scene of seeing you
was 3 or 4 days after
3 or 4 days.
We had already done other material together.
Right. Yeah. So it was kind of weird,
our
right?
surprise and the loving looks that we had, that was acting. We weren't surprised
It
at
happened
all.
downstairs first.
Oh, it was beautiful though.
Yes,
I do remember
But it's
that.
kind of weird. Same thing with Laura too.
Yeah.
So I mean, and it happens in movies too. It's
Yeah,
like
well, and that's the thing is, in soaps before, when I first came on the show in 2006, that didn't happen as much. We were able to have more time and did more in order, which is always nice as an actor because then you can really keep the story straight in your head.
Right.
But in other genres of film and television, they've always had this problem because you have to, especially if we're doing locations.
Oh, yeah.
If you can only get a location for a certain amount of time, well, hell, you got to do all the stuff in that
I
location.
mean, most of
at
the
that one
time,
time.
when I was fortunate enough to I did a miniseries called Taken
That's right.
for Spielberg, and we shot nothing in order.
Right.
Like
Because you can't.
Like nothing.
Right.
So-
and that's what most other people are used to. But we were kind of, I guess, spoiled in daytime for a
Yeah,
little
I
bit
mean,
that
because
we could do that. Yeah.
The coolest thing about that is because you're going on the journey as an actor
Sure.
in the story for sometimes 6 months,
Right.
and you're living it.
Yeah.
So it's like it becomes almost a part of you as opposed to, hey, I'm doing this movie. It's a one-off movie. I got to prepare. I got to do my character work. I got to, being able to live it on a show.
It's a different experience.
It's a different experience for sure. But now we shoot a lot out of order. So that was one of the things that he mentioned was like, oh, I didn't.
Right.
It makes sense that you guys do that.
right.
You don't shoot everything and go back and forth.
One of the things I was thinking about, I mean, your first big job in LA, as we talked about before, was Out of This World, which,
Yeah.
I mean, that was a multicam?
Yeah, sitcom. Yeah.
Right. So you had to memorize the whole episode for your performance because it was in front of a live audience, right?
Yeah, live audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So
Cool.
you had memorization. You were a pretty good memorizer before you did daytime?
I was.
Because, I mean, that's the question we get above all other questions. How do you memorize all those lines, right?
Yeah, that's
And-
definitely in the top 5.
Well, and sometimes people assume that we have cue cards. Sometimes people assume that we
Right.
have teleprompters.
Well-
and I've heard stories about people that have used those.
Yes.
They
They stopped in when I did Days of Our Lives. Actually, that was one of my summer jobs during Out of This World.
It's funny, summer job. Yeah,
It was during the summer.
I painted houses. I was a lifeguard. I did
Yeah,
Days of Our
I was
Lives.
on Days of Our Lives with Scott Reeves. Actually, that's how
right.
Scott and
That's
I
right.
met.
Yeah.
So I did Days of Our Lives, and they had cue cards. They
For
had
for everybody,
no,
or
not
just
for
people that
everybody,
requested
just
them?
certain people.
Sure.
But they had a cue card person who would write them out.
God, that's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, right?
And you got to have good penmanship.
Oh my goodness! And they'd use one of those big, thick,
big honking markers.
graffiti
Yeah.
markers.
Oh, totally.
And they would have cue cards. I'm like, I don't even know how you do. I mean, as an actor, I don't even know how
How
you
do
do
you
it.
concentrate on your partner when you're looking at a cue card?
You can't. I just
don't
don't.
know. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, look, there's people who are good actors who could do it.
Well, yeah, it's a
but
trick.
still,
yeah. Yeah.
for me, I got to be with you in the moment.
Sure.
Know
But
my stuff and
that's, you know,
have freedom.
But that's the way it was done. So those.
That's the way it was done.
Right.
Because they did so much material.
Sure.
All the time, and a lot of times it was live because that's when it started.
That's right.
You can't forget.
And if it's live, if you go up on a line, the show's over.
Pretty much.
So cue
right?
cards are the
Cue
fail-safe.
cards kind of, evolved into after not being live TV, and then people used them still. And then eventually, like when I started General Hospital, they were gone.
Right.
They were gone. You were expected to know your lines.
Right.
Right. So, but you're right. The memorization is a big question.
Yeah. And it makes sense because most people in other areas of work may not have
No.
that memory because I think of it as a muscle, right? Because it's something you work on, and if you're lucky, it stays there, and even if you take a break from it a little bit, it's still there a little bit. But it's a part of your brain that short-term memory. That is something you got to work on, and a lot of people don't need to memorize that much material ever. So it's a thing that people wonder about.
Yeah, I don't want to say that I have a semi-photographic memory. I don't even know if that's like a
thing?
clinical term.
Sure.
But when I did Romeo and Juliet,
Yeah,
I had it memorized pretty quickly.
sure.
And people were still like, "Well, I can't."
Right.
I can't, they couldn't do it. They couldn't. It was hard with Shakespeare, especially to be off book.
Sure.
But I didn't really ever have a problem memorizing.
If you're thinking about, maybe not on stage when you're hopefully thinking about what you're saying, but if you're rehearsing and trying to remember a line, can you see it on the page in your
can.
head? Yeah, I can too.
Yeah, I can.
So I don't think I don't have a full
I don't think a lot of people have that. My buddy Dirk.
Right. Dirk
he-
Cheatwood?
Dirk Cheatwood, who plays Max. He's like, dude, I don't know how I don't know how you do it.
Oh, because he does.
He's very
different.
It's a struggle for him.
Yeah.
It's a struggle, you know. And
And we've known plenty of people that have come through our show that have to work on it harder than others. Yes,
absolutely.
For some
They
people,
just
it's yeah.
You know, even for us, depending on how it's written, also, you know, if it's written like great, like
easier to
3
remember.
or 4 page. If it's a natural,
Well, sometimes we have to do a lot of information regurgitation on our
especially
show.
you. No, you do.
Well, because since there's a new episode every day, they want people that haven't watched it. Maybe say it's a Friday and maybe you missed Thursday's episode. Maybe something happened on Thursday that you need to know about, and we don't we don't do a previously on General Hospital. We don't do that. What we do is we don't use pronouns. So you know that if Jason did something on Thursday, on Friday we're going to say, you know, if Jason went to the store on Thursday and you need to know about it, on Friday we'll say, when Jason went to the store, not when he was at Target. We're like when Jason went to the, like, we'll say everything outright.
And sometimes first and last name. You ever notice that too?
Yeah.
Which I don't really understand that.
Just so people know. Just
so
drive
you know.
drive it home.
Yeah, that Bradford Anderson. I mean, you
Yeah.
never talk about somebody and say their full name.
Yeah.
It's silly.
So that is harder to memorize, I find.
Yeah, 100% it is.
If you're saying something to someone where you're trying to get a reaction out of them, or you're trying to get something from somebody, that's something that really is an active scene, right? That's easier to memorize because you're doing something on purpose.
Sure.
Versus just telling someone information that you might not necessarily feel anything about.
Yeah, like with, you know, patient 6, right? I mean, I just said it the other
Patient 6 didn't talk, by the way, so
Right.
that was really tough for you.
So it was actually the best days of my life.
Yeah, right.
Not talking. So then now I'm talking more than I've ever freaking talked.
Yeah.
I'm like, hello.
You have 4 years to make up for.
Yeah, but can I not talk so much?
I gotta say, I'm so glad that you are, because it means that I talk less.
But that's what everybody says. They're like, oh, Steve, look.
Yeah.
And now it's reversed. Now you're doing all the talking, and I have one line.
Well, back before you left, you were kind of, I don't know, you had a kind of a king of the castle thing. You were, and I feel like the writers were like, let's not upset Steve and give him all these lines.
That's not true. You son of a. That's not true.
And so you get so used
If
to
that
it.
was true, you sure were enjoying life, my little friend.
That's true. I had a lot of lines. If they'd pay me by the word, it would have been awesome.
Oh, it would have been amazing. But now I'm like, make it up for lost time, you know. But like you were saying, I'm saying, yeah, you know, I didn't know 6 months. I thought 6 months had passed, and then I saw the date on the newspaper, and it was 5 years, and you know, and I was drugged and whatever. You know, I said this speech 50 times now.
Right. Oh, because if people hadn't heard the story
I had to tell
of Patient
everybody.
6, you had to tell
Everybody. But
and one of the things that one of the best representations of that is a story that we've told on the road a bunch of times about one of the most. It's a funny storyline. I think we can joke about it.
sure.
Toxic balls.
Oh.
Because during those sweep storylines, like the Metro Court, the fire,
Sure.
you know,
the monkey,
the
train wreck. I mean,
it's
disaster
like
stories.
it's like a 2-week storyline.
Yeah.
And so much happens in those, and they want to make sure that every viewer that's maybe coming in midway
Right.
can catch up really quick. So every character has to explain the past week's events
Right.
to each person. And when it comes to toxic balls, someone, you know, so what happened was a guy was trying to smuggle some toxins. The way he did it is that he swallowed the toxins in sphere form, so they were in his stomach.
So
he swallowed toxic balls. It's true. It's true. And then got into a car accident.
Yes.
And then when they were giving him surgery after the car accident, the balls in his stomach.
Did they cut his balls open?
They cut the balls open.
Oh gosh.
And the toxin got everywhere.
Everywhere. So that was the story, right?
That was the story.
So we were all at the hospital.
Yeah.
And then any time, because there was about 59,000 people on contract. So anytime someone came in.
Right. They had to be apprised of the story.
It was almost like, Tag, you tell them the
now
story.
you tell. Now your
tell
turn. So what's going on? Oh, there's toxins in the hospital. How'd they get here? Well, a guy was smuggling some toxins. What do you mean? Where was he smuggling them? Well, he swallowed them. Were they? What do you mean he swallowed? They were balls. He swallowed the balls. He swallowed the balls. It was the most. So eventually we all get tired of saying.
So
it.
we all, so we're all together, and all you do, all we keep hearing is this. Yeah, and there's a guy, he swallowed the toxic balls and he was in an accident and they had to cut his stomach open and he released all the toxins and toxic balls. I was like, stop.
Right.
I literally had to stop. Stop. Steve, what's wrong? I said, you guys can't keep saying toxic balls. I mean, you can't. Do you not hear what's going on?
It was that moment where a lot of us were looking around going, we're doing this? We're saying this? We're going to be okay with this?
Yeah, and everybody's okay with keep saying toxic balls.
It was like that day that you came home and there was I had made Spinelli and Sam had made a welcome home sign.
Oh, dude, we got hold on, hold that.
But it was a similar thing. Like we're
going with this.
We're doing
so
this.
Toxic balls. I said, guys, we got to stop saying toxic balls,
Right.
please.
Yeah.
I mean, just can't.
Right. So
It's been enough.
So what do we say instead? That was the question.
Yeah, that was the question, right? And then it was toxic spheres.
I was a big fan of orbs
Well, orbs is actually easier to say.
than spheres.
Yeah, try to say toxic spheres.
Toxic spheres.
five
toxic
times.
spheres. Yeah, the X, the X, and the spheres.
Right, so it didn't work.
Yeah, they're not complementary.
They were like, oh, these dumb actors.
toxic orbs.
Toxic orbs.
But
Thank
that
God that
doesn't-
story's over.
Yeah, that was a tough one. That was a tough one.
That was a tough
That
one.
was the one. Was that the one that Robin perished in the?
You're not asking the right guy.
Yeah, I think so. That was poor Rob. I mean, thank goodness.
Unfortunately,
thank goodness she's back.
There might have been
Or
a
that would have
great
been her-
story
Well, sure. Yeah.
attached to the toxic balls, but they
Right.
kept saying toxic balls. Hey,
Right.
toxic balls.
Hey,
Why don't we have New York accents, by the way?
that's right. We're in Port Charles.
Yeah, we're on Rochester.
We're in Rochester.
That's basically, hey,
Yeah, hey.
look, hey.
Yeah.
Look, hey, how you doing? I'm from Long Island. What the toxic balls?
Rochester's
You know how-
not Long Island.
No, I know, but our friend here
Oh
is.
yeah. That's right. We have
our
a friend from Long
John,
Island.
he's
yeah.
from Long Island, but, and I don't know if that's Long Island, Rochester.
It's
and
good. I
whatever.
just love when you talk accents.
Hey, I got no accents.
I love
I
it.
got one.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's-
how you doing? It's my toxic balls. Listen, but can you imagine if everybody on the show had
I feel
a
like-
New York accent?
I feel like
and
Maurice-
then you did the toxic balls
Oh, my
scenes
gosh.
all over. Everybody be like Dice. Hey, my toxic balls.
Do you remember,
hey, how you doing?
when we had the guy from The Sopranos?
Yeah,
We should have brought him in for the toxic balls storyline.
I should have had him say it.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was
man.
great. He made fun of me, and it was a highlight of my career. Yeah.
That was Big P, right?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun. We've had a lot of great guest stars. But, that was one of the stories that people were like, oh, what's the story? But you just couldn't keep saying that. And then you guys, it was a funny scene because
And this illustrates the fact that we get one take.
100%.
We don't have a lot of time to do our material. So if a scene goes awry, if we can steer it in the right direction where we're still telling the story, then they'll take it because they don't have time to go back and do it.
And you
again.
can, and this is on YouTube.
It is.
And you
yes.
can YouTube it because, so you guys made a sign for me. Where
Yes.
was that coming from this time?
I
Jail?
don't- you probably hit your head on something. I don't know.
Again?
Yeah.
Jail? I don't know.
Head trauma.
So
Yeah.
you guys
We
make
need
a
to donate your brain to the CTE research when Jason dies.
100%.
100%. Yeah.
So you guys make a sign for me, for
Yeah.
Jason. Welcome home.
Welcome home, buddy.
Right. Welcome home.
Yeah.
So
nice,
it was
isn't
supposed to be just a nice homecoming.
Yeah.
Wherever I was.
We're
I don't
your
know.
family. We're
You're my only
strange,
family.
Strange family.
You and Sam and
Yeah.
Carly and Sonny and Michael.
Yeah.
So I was coming-
They weren't all there.
No, I know, but we were coming back to Jason's penthouse.
Yeah.
And you guys put up a sign.
Yeah.
Like, come in the door.
Just really wanted you to know how happy we were to see you.
Yes.
We
and
put a lot of effort into making this sign.
100%.
Yeah. It was a
And
beautiful sign.
Welcome home.
Welcome home. Welcome
Welcome
buddy.
home,
Welcome
Jason.
home, buddy. Yeah.
So time
did- yeah,
comes.
yeah.
We rehearse,
Sure.
and it's fine.
Yeah.
And we're taping now.
We're taping now. It's the
And-
real deal.
And they count it down 5, 4, 3, 2.
And as about 2 hit,
And about 2 hit, I walk through the door, and the M and the E fall down.
yep.
And you'll see my reaction. And I'll go, welcome home. Welcome.
Well, and we all laughed. We all laughed.
Because there's no way, and I'm standing up
I
almost in
was
this room,
he's so worked up.
there's no way.
There's no way.
That I looked around like,
there are times where things just go off the rails so much they have to just cut and restart. You just have to because it's too ridiculous to put on television.
Completely. Especially,
So we all assumed that was one of those moments.
and I never laugh.
No, you never
or
do.
smile.
You're a consummate professional, buddy.
No, and I have no personality on the show.
Right.
And then
so
I go,
when you laugh, it's off brand. It's not a character.
Yeah.
So, but me and Kelly, we thought it was hilarious, and so we allowed ourselves to laugh because we're like, oh, we're doing this again, and sure enough,
no, they didn't stop. So
they didn't stop.
So I see Welcome Ho, and you guys
Ho.
are laughing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Welcome Ho. And I remember that in my head, I'm like, oh no, they're not stopping. And we didn't stop, right?
No.
Because we never do until we're told to stop. So
That's right.
We should have.
I don't know. I'm pretty
So-
proud of it now.
So I kept my next move was I came like behind the leather chair and I go, Welcome Ho. And I'm waiting.
I wonder what the line actually was supposed
We're
to
gonna
be.
YouTube it.
I know.
We should put the link up when the episode comes.
yeah.
We're gonna find it. So and then I had to cross over
Right.
to it and like, oh, thanks for the sign. Welcome home.
Welcome home. And didn't you say something like, "Really, guys, we're going with this"?
Yeah,
And didn't that make the air too?
that made the air. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was crazy, man.
Really,
But
guys, we're going with this.
This is good. Yeah, okay, here we go.
So that
Toxic balls.
so that really illustrates the fact that we don't have a lot of time.
No.
We get one take, and if we get close
but
to it,
how did they not see?
I mean, maybe they just appreciated sometimes
the reality of the situation.
Sometimes what's great about our show, and especially coming from a theater background, there's
Mm-hmm.
something about it feels very live because you're going
Yeah.
up there. You got maybe one shot to do it. You're not going to do it 25 times different ways
Sure.
like they do in single camera stuff. You get one chance to go. You might not have had rehearsed it much at all. And so you're kind of putting yourself out there, taking a chance and going for it. And sometimes in that kind of space, unexpected things happen.
Right.
And sometimes those unexpected things can be really lovely.
Absolutely.
In fact, most of the comedy that our characters have had between us.
You and I?
Yes.
Yes.
Jason and Spinelli, a lot of the comedy that was random stuff.
Unscripted.
That wasn't necessarily improv per se, but things that came up that we allowed ourselves to go with.
Right.
And that was those unexpected things that weren't necessarily on the page. And not that Steve and I are comic geniuses that added them. It was just we were looking at each other being, scene partners.
Well, it's cool because we have the straight guy and the crazy guy.
Right.
Right. So that just works.
Right.
And for some reason, Spinelli and Jason work.
Sure.
That way, So it was great because you could do it. You're like poking the monkey.
I could test you.
You could do whatever you want when you're like touching me and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna kill this guy.
Well, that's great. Anytime in the script where Spinelli gives Jason a hug, that was fertile ground
100%.
for something to happen. And we
Absolutely.
never planned it.
Nope.
I mean, it always came out of the same instinct for you to be like, "Don't touch me."
But I got nicer because then I was like, okay, that's enough. That's
it.
long enough.
Right. I broke you down.
Yeah, you did.
You will accept this
Over
human
the-
touch from me.
yes.
You will accept this generous.
It's kind of like a
great-
dog.
Kind of.
It's kind of like a dog hugging.
He rubs up
humping
on
my
you. He
leg.
rubs up on you enough. You're gonna get used to it.
You're just gonna be like, okay,
and kind of
dog.
like it.
No,
and if it's not,
I wouldn't say I like it.
If it's not there, you're gonna miss it.
That's true.
That's right.
That's true. And
It's
the thi-
affection.
and-
We all need affection.
Yeah, but not that much.
Okay. Fair
I mean,
enough.
Jason doesn't need that much.
Well, he gets it when he wants it. So Spinelli doesn't as much. So he has to
Okay.
get some affection from his friends.
Okay, poor Spinelli.
I don't always get.
You don't have to be lonely. Farmers only. That's where you're gonna Spinelli, what are you doing?
I'm
I'm
on
hacking the
farmersonly.com
farmersonly.com mainframe.
I actually want, if anybody that's listening to this has done farmersonly.com, please go to our website and write to us. Because I'm fascinated and I'm curious. And like sometimes I watch that commercial and I think it's a joke.
Well, the first ones were pretty bad.
They were, right?
Yeah, horrible.
So, but
Like
maybe
our kids made them on the iPad.
but maybe it works for some
Get the
people.
guy on the tractor.
I'm just curious.
It
curious.
works for people. It's big.
Well,
It's big time.
And nowadays, when sometimes when you meet a friend's new friend, a partner, you're meeting your friend's new boyfriend or girlfriend for the first time, and sometimes I have a little trepidation. I'm like, oh, how'd you guys meet? Because
It is-
for a while there was a stigma about online dating, but
Sure.
now it's just part of people's stories.
Isn't that weird?
Right. So there is no stigma anymore.
It's kind of weird.
So, but because people don't meet in bars anymore. People meet online.
Oh, we met online.
Write to us. Tell us success stories.
Yeah, please.
Bradford is fascinated.
But you know, going back to things that happen in the moment, right?
Yeah.
And there's been plenty of times where we've done these scenes that something naturally happens or something unexpected happens, and you do it, and we're like, oh, that was great. Right. And they're like,
we got to reset.
We got to do it again.
Sorry.
Our fault. We didn't catch that. Oh man. I mean, Maurice and I have done that so many times. We're like, oh, that was so real.
It's funny.
You know.
The crew rarely messes up. Sometimes it's because there's a shadow of a microphone, or one of the cameras saw itself in a mirror, or something like that. It's totally technical, which is rare, but it always seems to happen when you've done something you're really proud of.
Totally. And then do that again.
And then you do something really crappy.
And they're like, moving on.
Moving on. Right. It's always that way. Yeah.
Nice work, clowns. That was the best, right?
Yeah. Our directors aren't out on the stage floor with us. They're in a booth watching all the feeds from the cameras and telling them when to do kind of like, it's almost like an edit as it's happening.
A live edit, yeah.
A live edit. So that later on.
We have 4 cameras, just so people know.
Yeah.
You know, movies, now they have more than 1 camera, but usually it's shot on 1 camera. We have 4. Sitcoms sometimes have 3 or 4.
Right.
Out of This World, when I did that, had 3. So we have 4, and they're always running now.
Right.
Right? They're always running. They get every angle, so they have all the footage. In case they miss something, they can go back in the edit and cut it up. But basically, like you were saying, the director sits in front of, like, you know,
a big wall of television.
Yeah, what was the one where Woody Harrelson did, Ed TV or something?
Oh, yeah.
Where there was just like, you know, it's like you're at a sports bar and there's 80 TVs.
Right, but they're all playing versions of the same show. So
exactly. So he, you know, they're in the booth and then he'll talk over the speaker. You know, it's like God.
Camera 3, go. Well, yeah, but when the director needs to talk to the actors on the floor, he'll talk on a microphone that
everybody can hear you. Hey, Steve, can you cross upstage on this line instead
Steve,
of
suck a little less on this line?
Those words weren't ever said.
Really? Oh, I feel like I've heard that
early in my career.
Hey, Steve, use look number 2. Oh, there's only one?
Yes, there's.
Oh, okay.
I have 2 looks now.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, for years I had 1.
Oh, well done for integrating another one.
Listen, I had 1 look.
Growth. That's growth.
I had 1 look.
Right.
And I won every staring contest in America.
That's true. It's amazing because you've worn the same pair of 2-week contacts for over a year, and yet you don't blink that much.
I don't blink.
I don't know how you do it.
My eyes are...
I truly don't know how he does this. He wears the same 2-week contacts.
I know I got to get new contacts, dude.
I don't even know how they have stayed. Like
I don't know.
I had 2-week... I used to wear 2-week contacts for a bit, and they would tear.
Yeah, no, these have lasted forever.
I would try to make them last
The problem is I don't have another one for my left eye.
Right.
So if this thing dies or, you know, sometimes in the case, you'll like... You know, it's on the edge, and you're like,
you don't see
close it, and you're ripping it in half. I'm
totally,
like, dude, if this one's gone, I'm done. I got to go get new contacts. But one had popped out during a scene once.
Oh, really?
Because and it wasn't the one where I was going to Spoon Island where the fan.
That was my favorite thing. One of my first impressions of Steve was him driving a speedboat.
That's when I had long hair.
Yeah, not long enough for your wife, but long enough
on the way
for the
there.
rest of us.
Is that a compliment?
I don't know.
I don't think that was.
It was like a helmet because you'd always.
It was amazing.
You would slick it back.
Yeah.
And it had this little lift to it.
Yeah, it was good.
And it would just stay there.
It was good.
It was good.
That's how most of the fans, the women fans, and I connect is because
Hairspray.
Yeah. We spend so much time on our hair.
Right.
We know what it's like.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a kinship there.
We didn't cut our own hair
in 4 spots
like you.
Yeah.
You freaking.
I should have just got a Flowbee.
Totally.
Right.
But that was probably before.
It probably would have done a better job.
I don't know. It
maybe I
wouldn't.
Maybe I wouldn't have got my job on GH if I hadn't done that.
Yeah, if you would have done a Flowbee, you might have.
It would have been too. It would have been too good. Yeah.
So the director will come over the loudspeaker and say, "Hey, you know, do this or do that." And
you guys were working with clowns.
Yes, that was the scene, right? What was it? Was it the carnival?
It might have been the carnival, or I think it was different. It was a different.
Was it a different clown group?
Well, because I was a clown during the carnival.
I forgot about that.
It was in an attempt.
Oh my gosh! I have to Google that right now.
It was in an attempt to overcome my fear of clowns.
Dude, I don't like clowns.
Well,
Do you like clowns?
I don't find them funny. I appreciate the art of clowning.
of clowning around.
Well, no, the actual art of clowning. Like,
I'm
know,
Googling Bradford Anderson clown GH.
boy, yeah.
I just want to see it.
Well, I got a nice.
But the clown picture didn't come up. Yours did.
You just do Bradford Anderson clown, and my headshot comes up.
That's
He's just a
amazing.
friggin' clown.
Oh, dude.
That's amazing.
That is awesome.
So, yeah,
no
they-
pictures of you in a clown outfit.
They dressed me up as a clown, spin it. How was it Maxie's that idea was like, okay, to overcome your fear of clowns, you have to become one. Or maybe, I don't know whose idea it was, but but I got a nice kiss. This is when I was still in a relationship, and a nice kiss from Maxie
With a clown face on?
with a whole clown face
Oh,
on.
dude, I got to YouTube this one tonight.
Yeah, it was pretty great. But the director, sometimes the directors after scenes will try to give a nice comment, or if those people are then done for the day, they'll say thank you so much. And one day, one of our esteemed directors, Owen, was trying to give a nice compliment to the people that had just worked.
Yes.
But it happened to be a group of clowns.
Yes.
And
there were some other actors in there who weren't clowns.
sure.
So usually those comments are directed at the principal actors
Right.
in the scene. So you're used to hearing, hey, nice work, guys.
nice work,
Good
Steve.
job,
Nice-
whatever.
yeah, thanks,
nice
guys.
work, Brad. Thanks,
Right,
for,
right,
whatever.
right.
And then, the scene ended, and he's like, nice work, clowns. And I'm like, what?
Well, and this guy,
What?
he is such a. Owen is such a genteel, warm-voiced, and just a warm fellow.
Yes.
And so he's got like a nice, like when he gives you a compliment, it's like really earnest and really sincere, and in a warm voice. So, nice work, clowns. Which just sounds funny, and so
Totally.
it's
And
become something. It's become
legendary.
something that we trade back and forth.
Yeah. Nice work, clowns.
Nice work, clowns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is, our genre is very specific. And once you get used to it, once you get used to the speed, once you get used to the amount of material, once you get used to telling all these stories all the time, it's actually hard to do anything else.
I know it is. You're absolutely right.
It's boring sometimes. In single camera, you might do 3 pages a day.
Dude.
And we do 120 pages a day.
And the technical aspect of it's different. When I went to do The Last Castle, we were used to preparing if we have 50 scenes, right? We have item 1 through 50, right? And if you know that, hey, I got these scenes with Carly about, something not great, like scenes 30 to 35, I'm going to be up after lunch sometime, maybe 2 or 3. So you can start preparing around lunch.
Right.
Hey, okay, these scenes are coming up. I'm preparing. And then you go on stage and you're like, okay, I'm ready to do these scenes. And you know that you're going to have 1 or 2 takes at the most.
Right.
And you're going to do it and you're going to be done.
Right.
It's not like that in movies.
No. Well, and you might have a 2 or 3 page scene, but if it's with James Gandolfini, the night before, you're going to be running that 2 to 3 page scene over and over and over. And you're going to have rehearsals. You're going to think about it 18 different ways, and you're going to spend a lot of time with it. When you have 50 pages of scenes, you're going to learn it and go for it.
Right. And I'll tell you this. I'll just tell you a quick story about The Last Castle. It was with Gandolfini, Redford, Mark Ruffalo. It was an amazing movie, and if you haven't seen it, go check it out. But it came out a week after 9/11. So we got squashed at the box office because nobody was going out. But, so I get off the plane. I'm like, oh, this is great. This movie, this is like
Dream come true.
Just dream work. This is Redford and Gandolfini.
I mean, this is a big deal.
I mean, I'm his right-hand man. Yeah. This is like amazing. So I get off, my whole script's memorized.
Right.
I'm like ready to go.
Right.
First 2 weeks didn't come out of my trailer.
Wow.
Like, that's just the movie. That's the movie business, right?
Yeah, hurry up and wait.
Hurry up and wait. You're still in your trailer. Hey, no, we'll come get you when we need you, basically.
Right. Yeah.
So I finally started working, and man, first of all, I was nervous as heck.
Sure.
You're working with Gandolfini and Redford, right?
Right.
And the technical part of it is it's single camera. So you're doing 20 takes. You're not doing 1 or 2 takes. Right? And the cameras, on TV, the camera's 10 feet away.
This camera's right in your face.
This camera's right in your face. First, they may start a little further out to get the whole master shot, and then they end up coming closer and closer and closer and closer until they're literally, a foot, maybe a foot or 2 away from your face.
Right.
And then you're not actually looking at the person that you're doing the scene with, which I don't think a lot of people know.
No, yeah.
Is that, Redford wasn't there.
Right.
They put a piece of tape
on the edge of the camera.
On the edge of the camera, and they're like, Steve, this is your eye line. I'm like, what do you mean?
Right.
They're like, you look.
Because otherwise, that's why they have these people that are a lot smarter than us
Yeah.
working cameras, because if they put a person somewhere for you to look at, the way the camera sees your face, if your eyes aren't looking at this precise spot, it won't look right.
Right. It would look like your head's cranked looking too far to the right or left. And I was so nervous, man. I'm doing this scene with Redford, one of my first scenes. I'm like, dude, I'm totally like, that's Robert Redford. I'm in the scene and I'm like, that's Redford. I'm like, they're filming me.
It was like your first scene with me. It was just like, it's just so hard for you to focus.
Nothing like that. So with Redford, and I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. So I was nervous, dude.
Yeah, of course.
Nervous the first couple weeks. So we went through we did a decent amount of pages. Like you said, it's 2 to 3 pages. So we probably did 30 or 40 pages in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it was a chaotic time. It was about the writer's strike around that time.
Yeah.
So Rod Lurie, the director, who was awesome, called everybody to the prison yard, basically, and said, "Hey, it's been great so far, but we're starting over tomorrow."
What?
Like literally starting the movie over.
Everything we've done so far is
Gone,
out of it.
Done. We're starting over. And it was so cool because I wasn't nervous anymore.
Sure.
I just got 2 weeks of like free comfort level. It just like I was totally comfortable now because Gandolfini and I became we'd play chess a lot, off camera, and you just got to know.
You play chess?
Absolutely. Wow. I will crush you.
I have no doubts
I know
about
you're
it.
used to checkers and double jumping people in
Connect
Vermont.
4 is my game.
Oh,
I
it
can
is.
take you in Connect 4.
Oh, you maybe we'll play.
Okay.
So anyway, that's the comfort. What brought that story up was that when you go from a soap to being super prepared all the time, and then it's more relaxed on camera on film, is sometimes it takes 2 to 3 takes for people to get their lines.
Yeah.
And it's just a different animal.
It is. It's a completely different.
But it's only done great things for me personally, and helping me prepare. Because I'll just finish with this about this story. It was everything took place in this prison. But in film, when you're shooting a certain way and it's a $50 million budget or 30, whatever it was,
sure,
you have a lot of lights and a lot of cameras and a lot of stuff that you shoot, like you said before, like our scenes, right? You shoot this one set and you're done. So you're shooting facing this way. They're going to find in the script, oh, we're facing this way. What are we going to shoot? So we were in the prison yard. There was hundreds of extras. And Rod came up to me. He's like, hey, we're going to shoot the end of the movie right now.
Because we're facing this way.
We're facing this way. We should get it right now. Weather's good.
Right.
Everything's good. Light's good. Everything's good. I'm like,
I haven't prepared that yet.
Oh, I thought we were shooting that in 2 weeks. No, we're going to shoot it now. I'm like, okay, we'll just... All right, cool. I'm ready. So being on a soap trained me enough to stop what, in the middle of all that chaos, I was able to go just kind of off to the side and get ready and go.
Yeah.
Which was amazing. So anyway, it was a great experience for me. It's how I found Tennessee. That's why I ended up moving there, but it was awesome. And with soaps, you have to be so prepared. It's just a different animal.
And it's interesting. A lot of people, some people in the industry, I think, probably have ideas about our limitations as actors because they look at the product and they don't think it compares as well to other television products. But it's because it's shot in a different way, and
which is ridiculous, by the way.
But then there's other people that are thrilled to hire actors that have
100%
been in daytime because they learn things quick. They can think on their feet. They can change. They can really, work.
They can
quickly.
adapt.
They can adapt and work
faster.
quickly.
Correct.
And that's true. People talk about it as training ground for actors. I mean, obviously we both spent a lot of time there, so it hasn't been just been training ground. It's been our careers.
Right. Absolutely.
But it's funny. There's nothing like it, and it's such a rewarding.
It is, man. It's so cool to be able to work for you and I and for like me and Maurice and people who've worked together for a while. It's still cool to do a scene and you're like, that was a good scene.
There's something so satisfying when you really connect with your scene partner and you accomplish something in there. And
then you get the feedback from the fans because we're on the road a lot. Doing our Stone Cold and the Jackal
Comedy tour.
comedy tour.
Yeah, this was a pretty serious episode. Guys, we're pretty zany.
We might be at Zany's again too.
That's right. Ooh, Zany's Chicago. I love that show.
I know. It's
Zany's
so
Nashville.
fun.
Love that show.
Zany's Nashville.
We love it. We love a good Zany's.
But it's cool for us to discover that, and then
Yeah.
it's even cooler
When it resonates.
when a fan says something like, "Hey, was that part planned? Because that was a great moment," or you know,
Right.
we'll hear that a lot, and that just means a lot to us that you guys are fans of the show, appreciate that and notice that, and it resonates with you guys, and you know, we love doing it. We love our jobs, and we're super grateful to even be able to do what we do. You know, it's
There's
amazing.
obviously Daytime's doing something right. To be the longest running show on television means there's something going right.
Absolutely right.
Right?
There's four of the last Mohicans.
Man.
Days, bold and beautiful,
May they live forever.
young and the restless, and of course, General Hospital.
That's
a perfect segue.
Tweet of the week.
Tweet of the week.
Tweet of the week.
That was kind of a week.
No, I wanted to ease into it this time.
I know, but it was kind of. Are you okay today? You seem a little down. Are you okay? Are you depressed?
we're talking about our passion here.
Yeah. So you
So
just went
I'm
way
just-
down.
I'm just in the moment. I'm just like kind of on the level, just feeling strong things.
But that's the cool thing too, is because I was telling someone about our podcast.
Yeah.
Actually, Kimberly McCullough.
Oh yeah.
You know, because she's at the nurses' ball, and we got to do some scenes together, which was great. And I go, "Hey man, would you be a guest?" And she goes, "Yeah, I'd love it." She goes, "So tell me about it. What do you guys do?" And I'm like,
It's a long list of nothing.
"It's a long list." She's like, "Do you plan the show out? Do you have things?" I go,
Clearly not.
"No, no," because I think part of the cool thing is if it was structured, Brad, that we
You
wouldn't.
just called me Brad. I don't think you've ever called me Brad. Who's Brad?
I haven't called you Brad before. I've called you Brad.
I don't know. For some reason, it felt new and fresh.
Did it feel good?
At least you didn't call me Brandon.
That's true, because everyone else does.
Everybody calls me Brandon.
Hey, Brandon. No, that's Bradford.
They just wish I was as handsome as Brandon.
Oh, we'll get Brandon on the show.
Yeah, we will.
But if it was, I don't want to plan things out, because I know you're a planner a little bit.
Sometimes.
You know, you're the organized one of us.
That is true.
This is like the odd couple.
Yeah.
The very odd
It's
couple.
funny. They look at us and they probably think you're the one with their shit together.
Oh, totally. And then you're like Kramer, just freaking out. Hey, out of your mind. You're to the house and you're cleaning. And, well, that's true. You are cleaning.
Yeah.
I got home last night and he was mopping the floors. It was a sweet sight.
It was.
I said, make sure you get the corner
Yeah.
over there. It's a little dirty.
And he left. So I think we talked about our wives' pet peeves. This one time, and you're like, Steve's like, I leave my stuff everywhere.
Yeah. I try to clean up, dude.
I said, Steve, hey, because I was cleaning the floor. I said, hey man, take off your shoes. So he did, I guess, and he left them in the bathroom. Who leaves their friggin' shoes in the bathroom?
No, dude. First of all.
So I picked them up and I brought them in the front door, and I was like, now I know what Sharif has to freaking deal with.
Yeah. And then in the morning, I'm like,
Where are my shoes?
Where are my shoes,
I
man?
know I left them in the bathroom. I put them away in
Where
the
are my
bathroom.
shoes?
All shoes should live in the bathroom.
you're my wife here. I got my wife at home.
Man,
Honey.
work wife.
Where are my keys?
in the bathroom.
Where are my shoes?
Next
I
to the
do-
Reader's Digest, bro.
Have you seen my shoes? Next to the Reader's Digest.
Digest.
Actually, I have the app. Tweet
Tweet of the week.
Tweet of the week, man.
Tweet of the
I'm trying
week.
to have fun.
Oh,
We were having fun.
I thought you were done with fun.
I just don't like writing things down and structuring things. I know we should if we have guests and be like, hey, where are you from?
Well, you guys can
Time to get
you guys
started.
can give us feedback if you think we need more structure. Let us know.
No, I just like it because it takes us to natural.
Natural places. I'm wearing natural deodorant.
Please don't.
I have a couple natural places.
Yeah, and the natural deodorant, by the way, does not work.
Says you.
I can smell you.
Really, from here?
It's not good. It's like my gym shoes.
Yeah, I smelled those. Those were terrible.
Yeah, that's you, dude. Try something else.
Yeah, your dressing room is a little ripe today, I will say.
Oh, well, you're welcome.
Thank
Well,
you.
dude, all my gym stuff's in there.
All your gym stuff there.
And no natural
what
deodorant.
was it that you were doing? You were wrapping your gym stuff up in some more gym stuff?
No, so here's what I do, because
do you
I'm
do?
usually on the road.
Yeah, what do you do?
I have a lot of black T-shirts.
I've heard, I've seen, I've witnessed, I've smelled.
I have a lot of them,
Yeah.
like 60.
Have you heard of a capsule wardrobe?
A what?
Never mind. Go ahead.
What's that?
It's about decluttering. You get a capsule wardrobe and you just have a couple of You just that way you only
What
wear.
is a capsule? Who says capsule wardrobes?
Go on Pinterest.
Oh gosh, no.
Okay, tell us about all your black shirts.
No, I have a lot of black shirts.
And so
I have some dirty laundry I got to wash.
course.
And your freaking washer doesn't work.
it broke. Yeah.
Yeah, it's broke.
Right, sorry.
You got no AC.
Well, yeah.
You got no-
It's a
you know,
1940s bungalow.
you know,
It's a classical bungalow.
you
I don't
don't
wanna-
have a
I don't want to
AC.
ruin the integrity of the build.
Yeah, you don't have an air condition. You don't have a washer.
Yeah.
So now I got to go to my father-in-law's house and do my laundry.
Right.
So what you saw, what you witnessed,
What I witnessed. Yeah.
what you witnessed
Yeah.
was
Was your collection of laundry.
shut up,
But get a laundry bag.
let me talk.
Okay.
Shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth. So anyway, watching Steve do
Shut
his
up.
laundry. But I was amazed that
So
you
anyway,
actually are
took
going
all
to
my
do your own.
laundry.
Yeah.
I lay out my black T-shirt, one of them, number
Yeah.
57.
Number 57.
I lay them out
Right.
flat.
Uh-huh.
I put all the other dirty clothes
Right.
right,
Right on top.
right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
And I take the left bottom corner
Oh, it's good.
and the right sleeve.
It's like wrapping a baby in a
I-
diaper.
And I tie them up.
Wow.
And I take the right
That's some
corner and
high-tech work,
And I
bro.
tie them up and I shove it in my backpack and it smells like crap. So that's what you witnessed.
Oh, wow.
And it's in my backpack right now, my card. It's 100 degrees. And it's
Soap stars, they're just like us.
Oh gosh! All right,
All right. Tweet of the week.
All right.
This
Thank God.
I won't say the name because yeah, because this one is I love this one though. I still don't trust the Jackal. I have a long memory. That bastard wanted Jason to leave Sam and be with the Divine One and be with the Lion Lizard and Jake the Mistake.
Wait a minute! Holy
There's a lot to unpack there.
dude, there's a lot of unpacking. You're not supposed to make me try to think this much for
Yeah.
a tweet.
I kind of know what she's. I know.
Okay.
I know where she's coming from a little bit.
Okay, let's just decipher this.
Okay, so Spinelli used to be when you had a kid with Elizabeth.
Yeah,
Spinelli,
I remember him.
Spinelli thought
His name's Jake. Thanks.
right, and you were worried about subjecting Elizabeth and your newborn baby to the violence of your life.
That was one of the things that the impasse that they had was
Right.
Jason and Elizabeth was the danger, and I was
danger.
very concerned for her and Jake.
And I wanted you to claim your family. Lucky thought Jake was his. Was that right?
Yeah,
I think so. I think so. And I was like, you got to.
Don't know.
Because
remember.
because Spinelli was raised thinking his grandmother was his actual parent. And when I found out later in life, it felt like my parents, Spinelli's parents, didn't want him.
Okay.
And I didn't want Jake finding that out later in life that you were actually his dad and think that you didn't want him because I knew desperately that you did want him.
Sure.
And I thought you had to claim your family.
Okay.
So she's saying is
So read the first part of it.
I still don't trust the Jackal.
Okay, so we don't trust the Jackal. I still
Because-
no, I not that I don't. I still don't.
Still don't.
So
Never
this
did.
is harboring resentment.
Oh, yeah.
Toward the Jackal for
long
years.
time. Long time.
Of
I have a
not
long
trusting.
memory. I have a long memory. That
Like an elephant.
that bastard, me,
Wow. Ouch.
wanted Jason to leave Sam and be with quote unquote the Divine One.
Oh, that's Elizabeth.
Yes. And,
Okay.
And be with the lying lizard, Elizabeth. And Jake the Mistake. Jake the Mistake.
Oh, that's sad.
That's rough.
That hurts, man.
Yeah.
That hurts my heart a little bit.
I know, but I understand where you're coming from. I did want Jason to leave Sam, so I'm guessing she's a big J Sam fan,
Okay.
right? Wants Jason to be with Sam.
I just
and
need to remind everybody that these characters are just characters on TV.
You know, she didn't. She did. I mean, she
Did she tag you?
tagged my name, but she didn't say I don't trust Bradford.
That's
She's just
true.
telling me
Fair enough.
telling me directly how much she doesn't like
Fair
my
enough.
character. All right, so that's all fair and
Okay,
love
can
and
we
Twitter.
be real here for a minute?
Let's please be
And then
real.
we'll just do a few questions and we can go.
Yeah.
Have you ever been so involved in a show that you kind of yell at the TV or you're like, what are you doing?
It's mostly sports, but yeah.
So, but not like a TV show?
No, I don't think so because chances are it's, you know, a 12 episode thing. And so I give the writers the benefit of the doubt thinking that, okay, this character is going to the reason why they're doing this is going to pay off later. But with a soap,
Okay. So
yeah.
a good friend of mine, Jay Bontanabas, who passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Love the guy. God bless him. One of my friends for a long time. He was on the show.
Yeah.
And he and I would golf together a lot.
Yeah.
and I'm gonna pull my wallet out here and give you my man card.
Okay.
Because
Well, I could use one. So thanks.
yes, you can.
Yeah.
And a toxic bull. So he and I and the wives at the time, we started watching a nighttime soap opera
Okay.
called The OC.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right. Remember that?
Yeah.
It
I
was
went
a
to
big-
I went to college with Chris Carmack.
Okay, great. So it was a big show.
Yeah.
Right. And for some reason, I got hooked on this thing.
Sure.
Because, we wanted to live in the OC at the time.
It was almost your life. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know about almost, but
Right.
but we just started watching. I found myself getting so involved in the show.
Wow.
Where I can see like these tweets why people
Well,
get
I-
upset,
right.
Right? Because I'm like, what's he doing, man? And this is like me and Jay would be on the phone.
Oh my gosh.
I know it's horrible. I'd be
If there had been podcasts back in the day, you would have hosted an OC podcast, you and Jay.
I'd be like, Jay, what did you see that? I mean, he's like, dude, because he's from Jersey.
For the record, Steve is using a phone as a prop now.
Yeah.
To help illustrate his point.
to nobody.
which is
no one.
Which is of no use to you folks listening
At
right now.
all. And I just hit my headphones.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jay, can you believe? He's like, I don't know. I can't just
Do you can't do
Jersey
impressions.
or New York. It's the same.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, Steve, this is not real. He wouldn't do that. The chick's hot. What's he doing? So, and that was not Jay at all, by the way.
Yeah.
But
So
now I can
so
see.
you know
I
how
do
it
know.
feels.
I do.
You
know.
have that passion inside you somewhere.
And what do I have to do to get my man card back?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
What
if
do
we,
I have to do?
If we didn't have people that felt this strong, see, people might think that oh gosh, when we get negativity, we take it personally.
Yeah.
Actually, we appreciate it because strong feelings are better.
Yeah, man,
than,
it's awesome.
Than not caring.
Just don't be hateful. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. You know what I mean? Because
If you're hateful, you might end up on the podcast, and we will say your name.
Yeah, right.
No, strong feelings we like,
Yeah.
and we love that we have that ability to interact with you. All right, speaking of interaction, couple questions.
Yes.
From Lisa Greenberg, if you have a day off, no work, and your family isn't around, how would you spend the day? So I guess that means, because I guess the go-to answer for us, if we're not working, we want to spend time with our family.
100%.
But if our family isn't around,
So because we both travel, we both come here to work.
right?
But honestly, like today, we worked. I finished early today. You finished a little bit after me, so I got a chance to work out. I got a chance to take care of some stuff for Burt Nutrition, which I'm always doing. We're right about to get on Amazon,
Oh wow, dude!
which is huge because
Sure.
it's taken us literally 4 months to go through this process to get on Amazon. Wow. So our products will be on Amazon soon and obviously at burtnutrition.com. But that's what I'm doing. It's a full-time business, the nutrition business. I'm always updating the site. We're revamping the site now. I had to shoot new videos. I had to shoot new content. And so that takes up a lot of my time when I'm not with my family.
Sure.
But for fun, I mean, thank God we're doing this.
Right.
And we get to do fun things together, go on the road.
Yeah.
But if there's not a day, I mean, when I'm home, I'm home. I try not to obviously do anything but be with my wife and my kids.
Right.
But here, it's nice to be able to get work done.
Sure.
Not have to worry about interfering with my family time.
Right.
Get to work out. Get to hang out with you.
Right.
It's such a blessing to just be at work.
Sure.
It's my office. We hang out there. We do things there. We work out there. We work there. We do business there.
We keep our dirty laundry there.
We fold our dirty laundry in a black T-shirt there. But it's awesome, man. So that's what I do.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
because at home, you're Mr. Mom.
Yeah,
You're
I try to be.
Michael Keaton.
I do my best.
Yeah,
I'm not
you-
nearly as witty or as charming as Michael Keaton. Yeah. So no,
You are.
yeah, no, certainly on our days off, we do our utmost for our family. But if my family's not around, if I'm down here and I have a day off, I mean, great thing about Southern California is there's something so restoring about going to the ocean, which is
100%.
if I can write, if I can like, have a good glass of wine or a good cup of coffee and write like that,
Right? What?
just anything, just try to like be creative in some.
Do you write poetry?
No, not
No,
well.
I used to write a lot of poetry.
Episode number 5, Steve's poetry.
No, but I did. But you're right. So there is something about the ocean because like literally right after this podcast, it's going to take me 2 hours, but I'm going to the beach.
There you go.
So
there you go. So thank you for the question, Lisa.
Yeah.
Joe wants to know if you could change one thing about each other, what would it be? I'll go first.
Oh wow!
I want to upgrade you from.
Oh, there's a list.
I want to upgrade you from axe to.
Oh, why would you do such a thing?
Something. I don't know. Something that you can get at Bloomingdale's.
Why?
Something that you can get at Nordstrom.
Nobody ever says anything about those expensive colognes.
Yeah, but they always say something about axe. You're right.
They do. They go, man, that smells good. Like Mark Teschner, he's like, dude. It's funny. The casting director of General House, Mark Teschner. I was going
Steve,
down.
God, you smell
like,
good.
Steve, man, what is that? That smells amazing. I go, chocolate axe, buddy.
Chocolate axe.
Dark temptation.
I
love axe.
I gotta adopt this. You
gotta try. Can you just try it? Oh,
yeah.
You're gonna do a test.
I'm gonna do a test.
You're gonna do an experiment.
Ooh, I like this.
So, we're gonna get you some chocolate axe.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna overdo it.
Oh, I might overdo it.
Well, you need to with that natural deodorant. It's got to freaking block it out. But you're gonna have. I'll teach you how to put it on.
Oh,
because there's a pattern.
Oh, there's a pattern.
You got to do the right pattern.
You got to do the right pattern.
Okay, so you do the pattern,
Right.
And then you go out and see.
Okay.
And just be open and see what people say.
Okay.
Right. And I guarantee you're gonna get more compliments than whatever the freaking natural crystal you're rubbing on your arm.
Oh, to Bradford.
Yeah, to Bradford. So that's what you would change.
Yeah. What would you change about me?
I think I would make you sing more.
Make me sing more.
Don't you remember when we first started hanging out? When I made you sing "No One Like You"
That's right.
in your living room?
That's right.
Don't you remember? We're sitting on your couch, and I'm
That's
like,
right.
dude, you're gonna sing this song. You're like,
Damn it. You used to be so much more demanding about what I did and
and
didn't
it's
do.
really ridiculous. I'm getting soft in my old age.
You are. Yeah.
But I would have you sing more '80s ballads for me in the car, and maybe that's gonna be an episode.
Well, we've stolen mean tweets from Kimmel. Maybe we can do carpool karaoke from James
100%. But it's gonna be you the whole time.
It's gotta be just
and
me.
I'm just gonna be like staring straight ahead.
No, you rock out when you hear the music
Yeah, I
you
love
like.
it,
It's
dude. I
great.
love it. So-
All right. Well, thank you for sticking around with us.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
This has been great. Hope you learned a little something about the show that you thought you'd like. That was interesting.
Make sure you check out stonecoldandthejackal.com. All our dates are there. We got some cool merch, but most likely we're going to be near you somewhere this year.
Sometime in 2018 or early 2019.
Absolutely.
Stay tuned for next week's episode. I think you're going to like it.
Stay positive and
We'll talk soon.
have a great week.